You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
I think you can. I think you guys can handle the truth just fine. In fact, I know it. I think we all know it. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is 0 Dark 30. And last night's show was great on Sunday Night Live. Just our best time of the week together, where everyone gets together in the zoo. Got a little bit of a hangover, but that's what happens when you're greeted with a big old nightcap. Anyways, folks, back to work, right? Back to dealing with reality on a Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday basis. Here we are. And it looks and sounds dark out there, folks. It does. It looks and sounds dark. Right now, we've got enemies of our country gleefully, willingly going after us. And I'm not just talking about domestically here with Democrats and more Democrats acting in lawless fashion, reckless behavior. How about the recklessness of a group of scumbags called the Houthis? They've infiltrated and invaded and taken over a part of Yemen. And they are pretenders, pretending to be a real country, a real military, whatever. And folks, guess what? They are absolutely attacking American warships with missiles and rockets and drones. Now, the kind of way I liken this is what this is about with the Houthis, not Hootie and the Blowfish, is they think they control international waters and that they're going to tell people where they can and can't sail their ships, and that they will attack, rob, rape, murder, and in all ways act like absolute horrifying pirates. That's literally what they're doing. So the question is is this the beginning of World War III, Persian Gulf War? It could be. Or do we see something else here from history, times past? Well, first, let's liken this to your neighborhood being Japheth. You're like, well, there's one street that goes through the neighborhood. And sometimes people from other neighborhoods use it, and we use it, and it's all belongs to everybody, right? It's the road. It's the street. Nobody gets to say they own it, and but the Houthis who live at the end of the block, they say they do own it, and that they're going to shoot at and blow up anybody's cars that want to drive by. So one person on your neighborhood decides they own the whole fucking street, and that they're going to commit acts of violence. Well, there is no world police. So somebody gets to stand up and stop them, or everybody has to take shit. And that is the situation we got there. The Houthis, I believe, are Iranians. And they have some sophisticated weapon systems. But they're getting the absolute shit shelled out of them. And this is a battle being waged with our Navy to see if our Navy is prepared to deal with a 21st century war plan. Well, that's what's going on. And so all weekend, we've got a different situation than what's been there for years. What's been there for years is Joe Biden, who I believe had a one-word answer for the Houthis, which was, don't. Well, they did, and they keep doing it. And they've sworn that nobody gets to sail by, that they're not going to sink if they don't like them. So, if you're the smallest guy, right, in the gym class, you're going to get picked on. Well, what if you're the biggest guy in the gym class? right? And someone tries bullying him. Well, they're probably going to end up with a fight, and that's where we're at. So this almost seems to be a fight that cannot be avoided. And it seems to be a fight that's been allowed to go on, right? Allowed to start by a former administration and the rest of the world. See, it's not just the United States of America and our job. The rest of the world has a piece of this. And they're not willing to step up. England, I believe, has had ships sunk, other countries as well. Someone's got to stop it. Now, is there a historical precedent for dealing with this type of shit? Yes, there is. You know, a couple hundred years ago, we'll just do that. We'll just go a nice round 200. There was this issue with the Barbary Coast Pirates. Barbary Coast Pirates. And the founding fathers of America pretty much dealt with right off the bat, right out the gate after becoming a nation, with an international threat on the other side of the ocean, on the Barbary Coast of Africa, and they were attacking ships, taking hostages. In fact, being just like the Houthis are being today, thinking they own shit. So America went over with the Navy and the United States Marine Corps and kicked the ever-loving shit out of them. And that's where you get part of the Marine Corps hymn from. Right? From the halls of Montezuma, which is Mexico, to the shores of Tripoli, which is the Barbary Coast and the pirates. In other words, there's one way to deal with these people, whether you want to call them pirates or a rogue nation or a bunch of fucking assholes. Go over there. There's historic precedent, kick the shit out of them, and basically reset the area and say, you're not allowed to tell other people if they can drive up and down the street. You're not allowed to hurt people just because they drive by your house. So there is this moment in time when this needs to be handled. Now, I mentioned the United States Navy and the United States Marine Corps. So am I saying that there's going to be a ground war here? There's a good chance. There's a good chance, unless the Houthis back off and they claim that, well, you guys attacked us, now we're really going to start attacking you, right? And they are. We're going to find out if we have to send in Marines, if Army's going in. It's not a good situation. I don't like it. But this is what happens when you've had a weak administration. See, there's different ways that war happens. One of them is you encourage it, and you support it, and you use like a proxy army to fight an enemy. Oh, you mean like Ukraine, John? Yeah, like Ukraine, like the European Union, and under the Joe Biden administration, our nation and NATO fighting a war against Russia because they wanted to include Ukraine in their little team. And Russia said no, and it was part of a earlier deal, which is you will not do these things. So yeah, so you can encourage a war by fighting it through a proxy, or you could just ignore the enemy and what they're doing and allow a war to build up and take off, and allow an aggressor to become more aggressive and attack and cause harm. But now we've got Trump for president, and he's not allowing this shit. And good thing too, because I don't want it to get worse. Meaning these people, once you allow an aggressor to be aggressive, like your school bully, they have no incentive to stop because no one's told them no in a way that they understand. Well, the Houthis are learning and will understand that death will follow. Folks, this is all part of SHTF, and it could come to our country violently. Please be prepared with all the items you need to take care of you and your household. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense with your plan. I'll see you guys tonight. Have a great day.